Rules you must follow. Important for drones. Hmm?
Episode 3 of the vlog.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Or more like the revenge of the government of Canada if you don't fly your drone correctly.
My name's Janaka.
My name's Stephen, and we are...
Too lazy for Google.
Today's episode, we will be talking about the new drone regulations coming into effect in Canada June 1st of 2019.
That's right.
Yeah. As you can tell in the news, all kinds of crazy things have been happening, from the Gatwick Airport fiasco to Heathrow, even Newark Airport in the United States. Now governments across the world are starting to implement set rules for drone operators and how they can safely operate their drones regardless of where they are flying. So, without further ado, we're going to talk to you about the new drone rules coming into effect June 1st in Canada. Number 1, keep your drone in line of sight. Always fly your drone within line of sight, so keeping it in the air and literally in your line of sight.
You know what I like about this? It's not a crazy rule.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a best practice. You don't need to send it 8 kilometers out.
No.
Just have it in front of you so you know it's not going to land on someone's head.
Exactly. I mean, they
Sound
can do
advice.
8 kilometers away from you, but, you know, just what's the point of doing... I mean, we've seen videos that are out there of people who fly their drones to the max range that these things are possible of doing. Number 1, for rules, keep it within line of sight, but also, if you have something you want to see, travel to it, launch drone, capture the footage, then land your drone.
That's
It's
right.
pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 2. Don't fly your drone more than 400 feet max in the air, or 122 meters when you operate your drone. Do not fly these above that max height. You can also set that within the app. There's already a set default factory settings of flying your height ratio of where you land and take off from. Keep your max height always at 400 feet. Number 3.
Number 3.
Ooh, it changed slowly. Now it's pretty. Number 3, do not fly your drone within 30 meters of bystanders.
Yeah, you know, and it's hard to tell what 30 meters is. And if they start walking towards you, what do? Start running away?
Well, I just carry a long, like, measuring tape or
Yeah.
stick in my pocket that I.
If you're just reasonable about where you're flying your drone, don't fly it in a very crowded square. Maybe go to a park that's much more open. And let's be real, just don't fly it within 50 meters of a cop.
But that's a really important one.
Yeah, that's best practice right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. Good. 2 changes now. Avoid flying your drone on your concerts, near parades, and of course away from forest fires.
You know the first thing I think about when I want to fly my drone?
What's that?
Where's the nearest forest fire? Because
course.
it's like, well, who thinks about taking their drone to a forest fire? This is like delicate plastic. There's no way you could take it near a forest fire and it'd be okay.
Well, it's delicate composite plastic. Ion materials. When you're flying these products, unless you have a bucket of water strapped to the bottom of it, why would you ever want to go near a forest fire? Bad idea. Parades, bad idea. Concerts, bad idea. So just do not operate your drone within any of these outdoor things that are happening. Let the authorities or the event producers deal with any kind of aerial footage that they are going to produce when they have their concert or forest fire in effect.
Yeah, the only problem I have criticism with this rule is, what does avoid mean? It's very broad. It's very generic.
Yes.
You know, I know what 400 feet is. I know what 30 meters is. Even keep in line of sight. You know,
Yes.
that's definitely measurable. But avoid concerts. So don't be right on top of them. Don't be within 2 miles of them. It's kind of weird.
Obviously, with new rules always comes a bit of push and pull and, I guess further interpretation.
Makes me wonder if someone actually flew it over a concert or a forest fire and caused trouble.
Yeah. All right, so number 5.
Boom.
Do not fly your drone within 5.6 kilometers of airports and 1.9 kilometers of helioports. you will notice in your DJI app when you launch your drone, there are broad circles around the area that you're taking off and setting your home point from. This basically means that within whatever area you're in, if you're in downtown Toronto essentially, there are areas of which the drone drone operation is not allowed. This is, for example, 5.6 kilometers, which would extend, for example, if you're at Pearson Airport, almost all the way to, I'd say, like what, Yonge and Lawrence, Yonge and St. Clair, to Billy Bishop Airport, which is basically almost all of downtown Toronto. So do not operate your drone in that area. And number two, obviously with the drones, they have built-in geofencing, so you can't even take off to begin with if you update your app and make sure you've updated your firmware. As for helioports, that's more broad because helioports can often be taking off from the top of a building, which...
There's a lot of them in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that might be tougher, but if DJI's geofencing takes that into account, then it should make it really easy.
Exactly.
To follow. Okay, so 4 things that you'll need to do before maybe flying in June. So first, you'll need a certificate, whether it be a basic or an advanced certificate, depending on what you're going to use it for. I believe it's going to be just a test online, but we'll find out more about that as time goes on. You want to register your drone online so people can be held accountable. So hopefully this will make people think twice about what they're going to use their drone for and if it's appropriate. You might want to get insurance for your drone, and that's just a good thing to do for all of your equipment. You spent so much money on this piece of equipment, whether it's your drone or your camera, just to protect it from whatever your insurance covers is a good idea. You want to mark your drone with your phone and name, in case it does land, in case you have a strong headwind coming back and your battery runs out and it lands somewhere, at least it gives it a good chance of being returned, more than if it's just a blank drone.
Absolutely. And this is, for example, you can take a marker, you could take a adhesive sticker to the drone to mark your
Label
name.
maker.
A label maker.
Yeah.
I mean, who has label makers? I don't. But
Label Baby Junior.
Exactly. Remember those ones? That's right. We had them back in school.
Okay, well that was everything you need to know about flying a drone in Canada starting June 1st, 2019.
Exactly. And as you can tell, please subscribe or like that button below,
That
I think,
one
to the bottom
right
left.
there.
That one right there. It helps us grow, bringing videos to you on a regular basis, weekly, on all things drones, all things videography, post-production, and how we can make these devices turn you into a cinematic drone flying creator.
God.
God. Yes, indeed. That was fun. All right.